There was once a young boy named Ethan who lived in a small mountain village. Every morning, he looked up at the tallest peak that touched the clouds. The villagers called it Dream Mountain. Legends said that those who reached the top would find not treasure or gold, but something even greater, the truth about themselves. Ethan often dreamed of climbing it one day, but every time he told someone about his dream, they laughed. "Ethan, that mountain is too high," said his uncle. "No one from this village has ever reached the top," added an old man. "You're too small, too weak," said his friends. Each word of doubt built a wall inside Ethan's heart. So he stopped talking about the mountain. But he never stopped looking at it. Every sunrise reminded him of what he truly wanted, to find out how far he could go. One spring morning, after a long night of thinking, Ethan packed a small bag with bread, water, and a blanket. His mother watched quietly. "You really want to climb that mountain?" she asked. "Yes, Mom," he said softly. "I just want to take one step and see where it leads." She smiled. "Then promise me one thing. Don't stop walking." With that, Ethan took his first step toward Dream Mountain. The path was rough. Stones hurt his feet, the wind blew cold, and the sun burned his skin. After the first few hours, he looked back. His home was already far below. Fear whispered, "You can still go back." But his mother's words echoed louder, "Don't stop walking." Every day brought new challenges. One day it rained heavily, and Ethan slipped on the muddy trail. He almost gave up. But then he met an old traveler resting under a tree. The traveler smiled and said, "The mountain doesn't test your legs, boy. It tests your heart. The hardest part is always the next step." Those words stayed with Ethan. Whenever he felt tired or hopeless, he reminded himself, just one more step. Days turned into weeks. He crossed rivers, climbed rocks, and faced storms. Sometimes he cried. Sometimes he shouted into the empty air. Yet, every morning he stood up and kept walking. Slowly, he began to notice something. Each step made him stronger. Each failure taught him something new. At last, after many days, Ethan reached the final slope. His legs trembled, his hands were bleeding, and he could barely breathe. But as the sun rose, lighting the peak with golden rays, he took one last step and stood at the top. Tears filled his eyes. The view was beyond words, endless clouds below him. The whole world stretched wide and beautiful. In that moment, Ethan realized something powerful. The real treasure wasn't the mountain or the view. It was the person he had become along the way. He understood that courage isn't about never feeling fear. It's about moving forward even when you're afraid. Every step, no matter how small, had led him here. When Ethan returned to the village, people gathered around him, amazed. "You really did it?" they asked. He smiled gently and said, "It wasn't magic. I just kept taking one step at a time." From that day, the children of the village began to dream bigger. They climbed hills, built new paths, and believed in themselves. And whenever someone felt afraid to start something new, Ethan would say, "Don't worry about the whole journey. Just take the first step." Every journey begins somewhere. Moral of the story: no dream is too big if you are brave enough to begin. Success is not built in one day. It starts with one small step. Keep moving forward, even when the road feels long. One step today can change your whole life tomorrow.